What is going on, everyone? My name is Jake Podger. I am here representing the Nickel City Mafia Buffalo Bills extravaganza show, if you will. We do a lot more than just Bills content, but that is one of our main claims to fame. I'm really excited to be back here. The last time I was on the summit, I think we were only on episode 2, and I haven't been with these boys in quite some time. I mean, obviously still talking to them off on the side. They've been on our show a few times here and there. But fellas, how we doing today? Are you excited for some trivia?
Absolutely.
Can't wait.
Now, you'll see that we are missing our Pats rep. I don't know where the hell Chris is. Not sure if he got a little scared. Hopefully everything's all right in all seriousness.
Well, he should be scared, Jay.
Chris. Well, yeah, of course. And, we did a little Vegas odds before the show was starting. And I think Mike actually put it out there. He has the favorite to win this as Jackson, the young buck. Jackson, welcome back to the show, brother. How we feeling? You excited for this? You think you're gonna live up to those odds?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I hope so. I think I got a pretty good knowledge on my team, but
5 to 1.
Excited about this Cook news too. So it's a great day so far.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Let's get into that a little bit. We, obviously something we like to do is always shed a little bit of light on some news that's been happening around the league, specifically in the AFC East. So 2 big moves in the AFC East today. We had Zeke Elliott sign with the Pats early on, and we just had it announced that Dalvin Cook is signing with the Jets. So, Jackson, what do you think, man? Is that telling you that Breece Hall might not be ready to start the season, or they're not believing in Zonovan Knight, or what's going on there? I mean, it's a really exciting signing, in my opinion, but what do you think?
Yeah, it's obviously a super exciting signing. I was talking to the boys before the show started, and I kind of was a little worried that Breece might not be ready to go full steam to start out the year. And we signed him. It was 8.4 million, which is
a hefty deal.
Kind of pricey. It's but I think just getting that RB2 in there, an elite RB2, just gonna be a great offense. I'm super excited to watch him in it. It's gonna be fun and exciting.
For sure, man. Now, when Breece comes back, do you think they're gonna be? I mean, they have to have it. I'm assuming it's gonna be a committee approach, but is Delvin going to be taking most of the carries, you think? I mean, how is this going to pan out?
Personally, I think the first 4 to 6 weeks, I think it's going to be the Cook show. I think it's going to be Cook 65% of the time. And then because Breece we still got him for 3-4 more years on that rookie contract. I don't think we want to risk re-injuring that. So I think by halfway through the year to the end of the year, I think Breece will take the workload again. Because in my opinion, Breece is a top 3, top 4 running back in the league when healthy. So I think when he's back, he'll be the RB1.
So are you telling me you got 2 top 5 running backs on that team right now?
See, personally, I'm a little bit lower on Cook. I think Cook is more in that RB7 to RB10 range. I'm a big pass block pro guy. He sucks at that. He doesn't have the best hands out of the backfield. He has lost some of his agility, but his speed is still there. He's still coming off 4 Pro Bowls, 4 years of 1,000 yards rushing. So he's still a great player, but I don't think he's that elite like still.
For sure. I hear you, but I just feel like $8.6 million is a whole hell of a lot of money to pay for a running back, especially with all the news we've been hearing lately about how the running back is basically a worthless position and the most replaceable position in the league. So pretty crazy move,
agree.
Pretty ballsy move. In my opinion, if I was a Jets fan, I'd be happy with it. Of course, I don't know if I'm happy with the price just because of everything that's been talked about with that. But you know what? At the end of the day, if he helps you win games, I don't think you could put a price on that. So if he elevates you by 2 to 3 wins, I mean, shoot, that's awesome. But cool, man. Yeah, no, I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. So I'm going to move on to Dolphin Keith over here right in the middle. Keith, how we doing, brother? You excited for today?
Oh, absolutely, Jay. Absolutely. This was posed to the group chat we have probably about a month and a half ago, and I've been looking forward to it ever since. I've been waiting for somebody to say, "Yeah, we're doing a trivia night." So I used to run trivia nights at bars around my area. I used to be the MC for those.
Beautiful.
So trivia, it's kind of in my blood. I'm really looking forward to this.
I love it, brother. Well, I'm excited for you because I'll tell you what, in our initial conversations, I believe you mentioned Jamar Fletcher. Not many people know who Jamar Fletcher is. So I feel like, in terms of where we're talking odds, you're at the top of my list. So don't let me down. I'm putting money on this.
I'll try not to.
Me and Mike, little side bet on the, behind closed doors here. So got to make it happen, brother. And I'm not, listen, I will say this. I am going to be a lifeline today, but I'm not going to give you the exact answer. I'm going to just try to steer you in the right direction if you need any assistance. That's all. Anyways, Brett, brother, you ready for this?
Cannot be more ready, man. I got to represent the Bills. That's going to be hard because I got another brother on here that's a Bills fan, and I'm going to be letting him down if I don't take this home. So we brought home the AFC East the last 3 years. I'm going to bring home the trophy today.
Yes, sir. Well, that's what I like to hear, man. And, before the show, Brett was talking about the Bills coaching staff. There were some coaches that I didn't even know were on the team. So very impressed with his knowledge. Sounds like he's been studying a little bit. He threw the glasses on to look a little more official. So
Exactly.
I kind of love it, fellas. So let me just run through some ground rules. And I should have had a slide for this, but I don't. But I'll just tell you exactly kind of what's going to happen. We sort of talked about it a little bit before the show, but we want to tell the folks watching exactly how you win trivia for your respective team. So we are going to be playing this and starting at our own 1 yard line, right? So we're going to play a little game of football. So, of course, Brett representing the Bills, Keith representing the Dolphins, Jackson representing the Jets. Of course, the Pats, I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know if they maybe got suspended for the first couple quarters because of some Deflategate type thing. I'm not really sure. But Chris is not here today. So we are just going to be battling out between these three teams, the three most relevant teams in the AFC East anyways. So it makes sense, right? So basically, I'm going to give you each a question, right? We're going to go in order. The order was determined prior to this. So Jackson is going to start it off. I will ask Jackson a question specific to the New York Jets. He'll answer. If the answer is correct, he advances 10 yards. If it's incorrect, he stays put. So as I mentioned, everyone starts at their own 1 yard line. The goal is to score a touchdown. For each correct answer, you advance 10 yards. For each incorrect answer, you just stay put. So there are no real penalties per se, but you want to advance as fast as possible down the field, right? So this is kind of a pivotal moment for you guys. I mean, you got your quarterbacks driving you down the field. Who would you rather have? In this case, you guys are the quarterbacks. So really exciting stuff, fellas. And I am really fired up for this. So without further ado, what do you think, guys? You guys ready to start this off?
Let's get started.
All right, here we go. I'm going to pull it up. Starting with the very first question. So Jackson goes first. It was Chris, like I said originally, but because Chris is not here, it will then go to Brett. And then after Brett, it's Keith. And then it'll go back to Jackson. So that's the format. So here we go. Question 1. What were the New York Jets originally called? I feel like I should maybe put a timer on this too. Maybe like a minute. And if you got to guess something.
I feel like I know this. I feel like my dad, when we used to watch like those original shows about it, but it's just not ringing a bell. Got to guess something.
You got to guess something.
Yeah. I'm gonna do the New York Bucks.
I kind of like that though. They were called the New York Titans, and I don't know if you remember. So it was, I think it was Brett Favre's year in 2008 when he went, or 2009 when he went to the Jets. They actually came out with that throwback, like alternate uniform that they wore for a little bit. It's kind of gross. It was like
talking about the blue one.
Yeah, navy blue jersey and like gold pants. They kind of looked like Notre Dame, but it was like a knockoff Notre Dame. Not a huge fan of it, but yes, they were called the New York Titans from the 59 season to the 60 season, and then they switched over to the New York Jets. So, Jack, I'm sorry, brother, you're staying on the 1 yard line, but you didn't get sacked in the end zone or anything like that. It was just an incomplete pass, but you got to move upfield, brother. So sorry, but we are on to the next one. And like I said, it was supposed to be this. If you guys want to take a shot at that just for the hell of it, who you guys have any guesses at who that might be? This quarterback drafted first overall by the Pats in the 93 draft?
That was Bledsoe.
That's correct, Keith. Yeah. Look at you, brother. I wish I could give you bonus points, but I guess we're just doing the Pats one for fun. All right, Brett, here we go, sir. Which former Buffalo Bills running back was also a member of a world record sprint relay team while going to the University of Southern California?
Oh, gosh. I feel like it's a simple one, right?
I don't know. You tell me.
I think it's a simple one. Former Buffalo Bills running back. Now, you did say that we can use the phone a friend question. We can use our timeouts, stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, and that's the thing, too. So you get 3 phone a friends, a.k.a. 3 timeouts, and that'll be directed towards me. So I can then give you a hint on what the
All right.
answer may be.
So I'm going to use my first lifeline. Okay.
Okay.
Here. And my first lifeline, I'm going to ask a question to you, Jake. Okay.
Sure.
Can I have the decade of what time this player was on the Buffalo Bills?
Absolutely.
That's going to give it away.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell you.
Is it more recent or more? Is it like 70s, 80s?
We're talking 50+ years ago.
O.J. Simpson.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Brett, with the first correct answer, you have advanced to the 11-yard line. Congratulations. Nice little out route thrown to Khalil Shakir. Took it up the field. By the way, Khalil made the team. And a tough, gritty first down. So, by the way, we're only throwing to slot receivers this entire show. So you got Braxton Berrios and Jack. Who do you got over there? Mecole Hardman, maybe, right now?
We got pretty much all of our receivers go in and out except for Corey Davis. So Alan Lazard, Garrett Wilson, Mecole,
Right.
Randall Cobb.
Randall Cobb, too. Yeah, he's got Cobby back there. That's a good point. All right, we'll use Randall Cobb because he's a tough, wily veteran. I love that.
I like it.
Very good. All right, Brett, you're advanced to the 11-yard line. Congrats. Here we go. Keith, this is a good one. Who was the first Dolphin quarterback to pass for more than 400 yards in a game?
Okay. I feel like I'm supposed to say Marino here, but I don't think it's him. No, I'm going to go with Marino.
Not correct. A lot of people would actually think Bob Greasy.
No.
I'm glad you said Dan Marino because a lot of people's minds, thinking the prolific passer that he is, it's actually just before him. David Woodley in 1981 threw for 408 yards against the Cowboys. And I think they lost that game 28-27, I want to say. So, unfortunately, you did not advance. So, the only one that has gotten a first down thus far is Brett. So, here we go. We're going to move on to the next one. Boys, you know what? It's all good. This is what it's all about. We're just getting started here. All right, Jackson, this might be a softball question. What quarterback led the Jets to a win in Super Bowl III, famously called a victory prior to playing in it? Was that Shiloh? Shiloh knows the answer.
Joe Willie Namath.
That's correct. I love that you even gave a little nickname there. Joe Willie Namath. Absolutely love it, brother. First down, Mecole Hardman. Jackson has advanced to the 11-yard line. Great work, young man. Here we go. That was gonna be the Patriot question. Do you guys have any thoughts on who that might be?
Terry Glenn.
That's a great guess, but it is not.
Okay.
Rest in peace, by the way.
Yeah.
I think 96 he came into the league. Nope, that is incorrect.
Patriots.
Jack should know this, maybe.
Oh.
The reason why I say that.
Oh, Curtis Martin. Damn it.
Curtis, my favorite Martin.
Yeah.
A lot of people forget he started his career with the New England Patriots, and he followed Bill Parcells to the Jets. So, yes, it was Curtis, my favorite Martin for that. All right, here we go, Brett. Which team was Marv Levy head coach for before the Buffalo Bills?
Oh, man. William and Mary?
That is incorrect. I should have maybe even put in there which NFL team was Marv Levy head coach for before the Buffalo Bills. He was actually the head coach for the Kansas City Chiefs.
That's right.
Which is now an arch nemesis. We can never get away from the Chiefs, can we? So I'm so sorry, Brett, but you did not advance there. Jackson and Brett both on the 11-yard line, and Dolphin Keith has a chance to tie him up here. Here we go. Keith, which team did the Dolphins beat to claim their first Super Bowl victory?
Well, I don't know if I'm allowed to say their name on the air. Am I allowed to say them?
You may say their name. I mean, it's history. Come on.
All right. It was the Washington Redskins.
Washington, our words. You are correct.
Yes.
Keith advances to the 11-yard line. Braxton Berrios with a nice catch and run for 10. Caught it at 3 yards in and then took it upfield. Beautiful. Love it, man.
Get used to that, guys.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Here we go. You guys are all tied up right now. I love this. This is exciting stuff. All right, here we go. Jackson. What nickname did Mark Gastineau, Joe Klecko, Marty Lyons, and Abdul Salam earn for the New York Jets defensive line?
The New York Jets Sack Exchange.
Oh, freaking love it, man. Well, New York Sack Exchange.
Our New York Sack Exchange, yeah.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
I think that's okay. We'll advance you. I could have just advanced you 5, but we'll give you that one. I think you're right on with that. Beautiful, man. So Jackson advances to the 21-yard line with that. Nice little first down there by Randall Cobb. And, I put that in the wrong order, but that's okay. Brett, who was the first 1,000-yard American Football League rusher that played for the Bills?
So I'm going to go back in time, and I'm going to guess that this was probably in either the early 60s or 70s. I'm going to say it's going to be the 70s. I feel like it's not going to be as easy as it seems to be. But
I don't know.
I'm going to throw it out there and just say, I'm going to say O.J. Simpson. Again.
You are sadly mistaken. It was actually Cookie Gilchrist in 1964. Great name. I think one of the biggest hints in this question is American Football League, but it could have also been OJ, like you said.
Yeah.
So you got to, when you start thinking AFL, you start thinking 60s and 70s because, the modern day NFL started technically in 67, but then they switched over to the AFC in the 70s there. So
yeah,
that is sadly incorrect. You stay on the 11-yard line there, Brett. It was Cookie Gilchrist for the answer, like I said. So let's see if Keith can capitalize here. And that was, by the way, the Patriots won there. You guys know the answer to that one by chance?
Deion Branch?
That's right. Keith, on fire, brother. Here we go. Which Dolphin is the NFL's all-time leader in fumble return touchdowns with 6?
All right.
I feel like you're getting some hard ones to start off here.
I'm going to go Jason Taylor.
That is correct. Very good.
Oh,
very good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hot
That's a
damn.
name you wouldn't expect, especially being a defensive end, a guy that scoops and scores 6 times. That's unbelievable. So that is correct. You advance to the 21-yard line. Great job, Keith. Very nice. Dolphins and Jets in the lead right now. Brett, I believe in you, brother. Here we go. All right, Jackson. Which Hall of Fame Jets wide receiver was the first NFL player to reach 10,000 career receiving yards?
I'm going to guess Don Maynard.
That is correct.
Sweet.
Great work, man. Don Maynard was a
Thanks,
hell of a
Jackson.
receiver. That was Joe Namath's favorite target. Yep. Very good.
I love
answer.
watching those NFL films of him. Those highlights were awesome.
Mike
Yeah.
might have been onto something when he knew that the young buck was going to come out here and show out.
Yeah.
I freaking love
Yeah.
it, brother. You're on the 31-yard line with that one. Another first down for the Jets. Fireman Ed is absolutely losing his mind right now wearing that Joe Klecko jersey, and you are making him very proud. I love it.
Glad to do it.
And this was the Patriots question here. Had to throw in this stat just because I wanted to rub it in Chris's face. How many Super Bowl losses did Tom Brady have with the Patriots?
3.
That is correct. He went 7-3 in his career, 6-3 with the Pats, which is just unbelievable.
Lost to NFC East teams all 3 times.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Jets have Hall of Fame players, Sean said. He's questioning why and how the Jets. Believe it or not, the Jets used to have some rich history, man. I don't know what the hell happened. Jackson's looking forward to them starting that back up again. Maybe they can figure it out for him. But yeah, they did have some very good players back in the day. So here we go. On to the next slide here. Brett, this should be an easy one for you, I hope. Who was the quarterback?
You don't even need to read it.
All right, there we go. What do we think?
You don't even need to read it. It's so easy. All right. I'm going to give you the name of him because he's also a head football coach right now.
Correct.
And
I shouldn't have said that so fast.
But we know who it is. It's Frank the Tank Wright.
That is correct. That is correct. Great job, Brett. Brett advances the 21-yard line. Freaking love it. You're back in the game, brother. Here we go. Next up, Keith. Who was the first Miami Dolphin elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
Ooh. The first Miami Dolphin. I'm going to go a little off the wall here.
Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm going to say Bob Greasy.
You're sadly mistaken. It was actually Paul Warfield.
Okay.
Paul Warfield, in his first year of eligibility, got in. And a lot of people that do remember, most of his career was actually spent with the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I didn't know he went in as a Dolphin.
Yeah, 71 to 75, he technically played with the Dolphins, although he missed a year in between there. He went with Larry Zonka to go play for the Memphis Snowmen, and that was trying to become like the World Football League or whatever, I believe it was. They were trying to build that league up a little bit. Didn't really succeed, unfortunately. But yes, Paul Warfield is the correct answer for that.
I would have thought he would have gone in as a Brown.
Right? Yeah. I guess it's kind of a trick question, right? But
it is what it is. I was going to say Joe Robbie, actually, but
okay, that would have been good too. That would have been good too. Yeah. All right, so Brett and Keith are tied. Jackson in the lead right now at the 31-yard line. Brett and Keith both at the 21-yard line. And we are going right back to Jackson here. This is a great one. This is one that I came up with myself. Santana Moss was traded for this receiver who was originally drafted by the New York Jets and had 3 total stints with the Jets.
Oh, this is a pretty good question right here.
Jackson, how old are you, sir?
I'm 22.
Okay.
Might have seen the tail end of this guy's career.
I saw like the last year or two.
It's crazy because he was drafted a year before you were born.
I'm going to call for a timeout right here. You got any hints?
Yeah, I could definitely give you a hint. So let me think about this. Think of who Santana Moss was traded to. He was a Pro Bowl receiver while he was on this team. The guy that he was traded for. I don't know if that helps.
Kind of had a.
It was actually his only.
I'm thinking Brilliant Edwards, but I think he might have been a little bit. Yeah, I think Brilliant Edwards is a little.
Kind of had a wacky first name, didn't he, Jake?
Really wacky first name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not ringing any bells.
All right, do you give in?
Yeah. I don't know if I'll get this one.
Lavernius Coles.
Yeah.
Lavernius Coles was the correct answer.
Yeah.
So he was drafted by the Jets in 2000 in the 3rd round out of Florida State. He was on some really good Florida State teams back in college. And, so he was on the Jets for 2 years, went to the Redskins after that. And then Santana Moss was traded straight. I think they were straight up, too. Back in the day, you used to have a lot more of that. I mean, even before that, the Redskins, too. Clinton Portis, Champ Bailey, that was another one that they did straight up. So crazy. They'd made some pretty wild trades back in the day, but he was really good with the R words. Then he comes back to New York, actually has a 1,000-yard season. Then he ended up going to the Bengals, and then he went back to New York again. I don't think he actually played much. I mean, maybe one game when he came back in 2010, but yes, Lavernius Coles.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember him on the Bengals at all, Jake.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. He was like a 500-yard receiver for them. It was like 2009. Yeah. Yep. But all right, so Jackson remains on the 31-yard line. A chance for Brett to tie it up. Here we go, Brett. You ready?
I'm ready.
Well, actually, first, let's go to the New England question. You guys know who this is?
Corey Dillon.
Corey Dillon. That's correct. Who is the Bills' all-time leader in career sacks? Well, Keith is looking at me like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Who is the Bills' all-time leader in career sacks while also being the NFL's all-time sack leader?
Oh, man.
Don't even pretend like you don't know this, Brad.
How do I not know this one? I'm just going to say it right now, okay?
Okay, give us the answer.
Okay. I'm going to give you the answer, but I got to give it to you in a certain way, okay?
Okay, I love it.
You know how it's got to be. Bruce.
Okay, I like that. I wish we had, we should actually, this is a great idea. On the Nickel City Mafia channel, Mike, write this one down. We got to get a button that goes, Bruce. We should get a Bruce button. Or I guess if we want to be modern day, we do the Rousseau. So they're doing that now. They're doing Roos in the crowd. So that's pretty cool.
I was going to say bad things, man. That's what I was originally going to say.
What were you going to do there?
I was just going to go, bad things, man.
That's great. Well, you just advanced. You just tied it up with Jackson there. You are now on the 31-yard line. Nice little up and out by Trent Sherfield there. Beautiful catch. Freaking love it. And let's look at some of the comments here first. Let's take a little pause first. Actually, no, let's get to Keith's question, then we'll take a pause because I don't want Keith to think that I'm sabotaging this right now. So let's get to Keith's, then we'll take a little break, review some comments. Here we go. Keith, who was the Dolphins' first 1,000-yard rusher?
I'm going to go with Larry Zonka.
That is correct. Larry
Yep.
Zonka is the right answer for that one. Very
Nice.
good. 1,051 yards, I believe it was.
Yep.
1971. So, yep, great answer. Great answer, brother. As I was mentioning, let's go back to some of these comments here. It looks like Mike is a little upset here in the chat. Of course, as we mentioned, he had some money on Jackson to win this. Now he's all tied up here with these two. This has actually been a very, very fun game, guys. You guys are all doing really well here. There's been a couple ones to throw you off, but for the most part, you're handling these pretty well. Mike also saying King Randy's going to be really upset, Jackson. So
Yeah, he's
hopefully
disappointed
he's
in
not
that
watching.
one.
He said you still got the lead. Well, not so much anymore. Everyone's tied up here. My dad getting in here too. Love it. Brett or Sean saying easy one. I'm thinking he's regarding that to the Bruce Smith one.
Yeah, he is.
Brett, are you serious? Wow, Jake gifting Brett. There may be a fix and play here. Now, we did mention early on that there was a chance that Brett was paying me under the table. I can assure you he was not. But time will tell. Time will tell. I guess we'll see how much easier the questions get. Or, I might have thrown a couple loophole questions in here. I don't know. Let's see what else here. John just absolutely losing his mind because he thought Brett didn't know. I did ask that one. Yeah, I mean, there's been a couple softballs. You got to combine them. You got to throw a little bit of everything in there. So, absolutely. All right, here we go. You guys ready?
Ready.
Do it.
Keep it going here. All right, Jackson. Who is the Jets' all-time leader in rushing yards?
I got to go with the guy we talked about a little bit earlier. Got to go with Curtis Martin.
That's correct. Curtis Martin was the answer
Yeah.
for 2 questions in total on this, one for the Patriots and one for the Jets. You are correct. Way to advance to the 41-yard line there, young man. Very good work. Love to see it. And this is going to be the question. Yeah, so this is a good one here. Speaking of New York Jets as well, what New England Patriots cornerback shared Pro Bowl MVP honors with wide receiver Keyshawn Johnson in 1999? You guys have any guesses of who that is?
Ty Law.
Ty Law. That is correct. Yeah. Yep. All right, Brett. This Hall of Fame Bills player won MVP and Offensive Player of the Year in 1991.
Who is Thurman Thomas?
Bingo. A lot of people get confused with this one because I think your first thought might be Jim Kelly, right? A lot of quarterbacks winning MVPs this day and age. Well, back in the day, believe it or not, running backs were much more recognized. And as we started the show off, we talked about how the running back was almost the most replaceable position in football. Well, back in the day, these guys would be the workload, and they would carry this offense. I mean, Thurman Thomas was one of the most complete backs in NFL history, being that of a receiving threat and a running back, too. So it was really awesome to watch. Unfortunately, it wasn't alive to really see him play much, but I caught the tail end, and yeah, I did see him in the teal, unfortunately. I hate to see it.
He wasn't very good
stuff. No, he didn't do much. Didn't do much.
Is that a trivia question coming up, Jake?
It is not. I can tell you right now that is not a trivia question, and I wanted to leave that out on purpose because I didn't even want to hear about it. So, no, Fair enough. Is not. But Brett advances to the 41-yard line. Very nice. Here we go. Keith, which Dolphins player holds the franchise record for career receiving yards?
I believe it's one of the Marks brothers. I'm not certain as to which one it is. I think Mark Clayton has had the best receiving yard season, but I think overall Duper edges him out. I'm going to go with Mark Duper.
That is correct. Very good. Yeah, he had 8,800. Nice, that was a good one. Yeah, and it was between the Marks brothers. I think Mark Clayton is actually number 2 on that list. It's either him or someone else. Yeah, I'm not too sure, to be honest. But
prior to last season, Clayton had the most single season receiving yards for the Dolphins.
Right.
He held that record.
Yep.
Tyreek smashed that to pieces last year. Mm-hmm. But I thought Duper might have had the better overall career, but wow.
That is right. 8,869 career receiving yards. Very nice career for him.
How many did
Marks
Clayton
brothers? Have? I think he was at 7,000 something.
Okay.
Let me pull it up, actually. Mark Clayton. Yeah, I'm curious. Not Mary Clayton. Mark Clayton. You guys remember Mark Clayton for the The Ravens as well?
Yes, I do.
I was going to say
No
for the
relation.
Bucks. No, it was
You're thinking Michael Clayton.
Michael Clayton. I was thinking, I knew that
actually.
was right. I'm like, Michael Clayton.
So it's actually a lot closer than I thought. So Mark Clayton with the Dolphins had 8,643 yards. So 200-yard difference. That's pretty wild. Yeah. Yeah. 18 touchdowns the 1 year.
You should go to the comments real quick, especially that last one.
Got here. That's a good one. I like that. Did you just say Oronde Gadsden too there, Sean? I freaking love it, man. He had some
Oronde
hands.
Gadsden. Yeah.
He had some great hands, man.
He couldn't
Great
run,
hands.
but he had hands.
Yeah, he sure did. Yep. All right, so everyone is tied up here. We're all at the 41-yard line. You guys are almost to midfield. Jackson with the chance to cross midfield here with this question. It's a good one. This is one that I came up with. Happy 50th birthday to this man who is second all-time in Jets history in career receptions. He was undrafted out of Hofstra University and played for the Jets from 1995 to 2005.
I think it's Wayne Corbett, but I'm going to go Wayne Corbett.
That's right. That is Wayne Corbett.
Wow.
Yep. 50 years old today, guys. Wayne Corbett just turned 50 freaking years old. Are you kidding me? You know what I loved about Wayne Corbett? Didn't wear gloves. That is rare for a receiver, first off. And he wouldn't do it when it was just like rainy. He would do it for there was maybe a few times where I saw him in gloves, but most of the time that guy had bare hands. He was out there. You want to talk tough, gritty player. That was Wayne Corbett. So, yep, very good, Jackson. Way to cross midfield right there. And how about a nice first down to the guest receiver, Wayne Corbett, on that one? Beautiful. Absolutely love it. All right, here we go. Oh, this was the Dolphins or the Patriots one.
There's no way Chris wouldn't have gotten this one.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys know that one. Very nice.
You got Moss.
Randy Moss.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Brett, which Hall of Fame receiver signed with the Bills in 2009 and played one total season for them?
It was the best season for the Buffalo Bills that year because this man got the key to the city. It was Terrell Owens.
Mm-hmm. You remember the reality show that he had too on MTV?
T.O. show?
Yeah, the T.O. show. Freaking wild, man. When I found out that the Bills were signing T.O., I couldn't believe it. I remember I was in my parents' kitchen and I lost my mind. I think I ran a lap around the neighborhood or something. I was like so beyond excited because players like that didn't come to Buffalo then. Like Buffalo's still, obviously players now want to come play here because they see the facilities, they see the team success, the culture and everything like that. But back in the day, players would go to Buffalo to have their careers die. It was a death sentence to come to Buffalo. And for T.O., of all people, to come sign with us after a pretty good year with the Cowboys. He had a 1,000-yard season prior to that. It was just amazing. So, yeah, T.O.
How was
correct.
T.O. on the Bills?
He had 829 yards, I want to say it was. His best game was against the Jaguars. I remember he went up against a rookie corner, Derek Cox, and he made that kid's day a living hell. It was pretty fun to watch. He had actually, in that game, he is now tied for the longest touchdown catch and throw in NFL or in Bills history with a 98-yard. Yep.
I remember that.
T.O., yeah. Yep. So very good. You guys are both across midfield. Here we go, Keith, with the chance to tie him up. In which season was Dan Marino named the NFL's most valuable player?
I do believe that was his second season in the league, Jake, 1984.
That is correct. Do you know what his numbers looked like that? I mean, that year was
video
ridiculous.
game-esque. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was insane.
I mean, this is the 1980s, guys. This is 1984. This guy threw for 5,084 yards, a record that wouldn't be broken until 2010. I want to say Drew Brees did it.
Drew Brees. Yeah.
And then after that, Peyton Manning just slaughtered those. In 2011, we had like 5,000-yard passers, which was just disgusting.
Yeah.
So, it's crazy.
Shows the evolution of the league and shows how ahead of his time Marino was as quarterback.
For sure. And this was that offense obviously had the Marks brothers and whatnot, but really the only other team doing that with passing yards was the Chargers with Dan Fouts, the Air Coryell offense, who, by the way, Dan Coryell just went into the Hall too. So congrats to that guy. I know he's actually he passed away a little bit ago, but yeah, that was a hell of an offense. And man, Dan Marino, one of the most prolific passers of all time. Yeah, just unbelievable stuff. So Keith, welcome. You are across the 50 as well. Going back
Good
to
to be here.
Jack. That's right. Here we go. This former Jets player was a 7-time Pro Bowler, 4-time first-team All-Pro, but ironically won a Super Bowl with the Patriots. He was also recently inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
This is easy. Revis Island.
It's a very easy one. Man, I got to start checking these questions out a little bit, make them a little bit more difficult, but you are correct. Darrell Revis Island. That was way too easy. You're now on the opposing team's 41-yard line. Freaking love it,
Revis.
brother.
He's actually my he was kind of around when I first started watching the Jets, so he's my all-time favorite Jet. And then seeing him going to the Patriots, it hurt.
I'm sure it did, but then he came back to New York, remember?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And actually, I think he made a Pro Bowl when he came back to New York, too.
Yeah, he did.
Really
yeah,
impressive. Yeah.
You should have said he ended his career in Tampa Bay. Come on.
Yeah. I shouldn't have said anything about the Patriots on there. I hate bringing it up, but this is the AFC East Summit, so you got to talk about the other AFC East teams as well.
Yeah.
So, yes, Darrell Revis is the correct answer. And actually, I said you're on the opposing team's 41, but technically, I think you'd be on their 39 for really speaking. Yeah. All right, here we go. Brett. Oh, wait, let's do this one first. You guys know this one. This is a good one. I don't know if Chris would have got this.
Lawrence Maroney.
Yeah.
Keith's got it. Keith should be the freaking Pats rep here. Holy smokes. Look at that. Lawrence Maroney. Yeah. Good answer there. All right, Brett. Who was the first Bills quarterback to throw for 4,000 yards in a season?
I feel like this is a trick question, though. I don't feel like the easy answer is who it is. So I'm going to use a lifeline on this one. Again. Okay.
This player.
Can you give me the year?
I can give you the year. Well, it's definitely. I mean, it's going to give away. 2002 is the year.
Does this quarterback play for another team in the AFC East?
Oh, come on.
I mean,
Really?
The problem is I can't lie. I have no poker face at all. I mean, yes, he did, Brett. He did.
I'm going to guess Drew Bledsoe.
That is correct. Drew Bledsoe. That 2002 Bills offense, man, I've been bringing this up a lot lately, but I am just fascinated with how good and how balanced that offense was. The Bills end up going 8-8 that year under Greg Williams as the head coach. Drew Bledsoe throws for over 4,000 yards. The very first time to ever happen in Bills history. Jim Kelly never did it. So you have Drew Bledsoe over 4,000 passing yards, Travis Henry with 1,400-plus rushing yards, and 2 1,000-yard receivers, and Eric Moulds and Peerless Price. I mean, and 2 1,200-plus yard receivers, I should say, and Eric Moulds and Peerless Price. Yeah. Freaking impressive, man. I mean, that is a nice offense right there. And then you have Reuben Brown, who I know a lot of people said he held like you wouldn't believe, but, I mean, shoot, he was definitely still a top 5 guard in the league at the time. So
yeah,
that team was they were impressive, man. Or actually, I want to say maybe that was Reuben's first year with the Bears. I can't remember.
Okay.
It's either 2002 or 2003, but nonetheless, like I said, that offense they were firing. So yes, Brett, you will advance now to the 39-yard line. And now we are on to Keith. Here we go. Which player was named MVP of Super Bowl VII against the Redskins and capped off the Dolphins' perfect season?
This is actually one of my favorite trivia questions, regarding the Dolphins, because it's not who you think it would be. Right. Zonka won it against the Vikings the following season. But in that Super Bowl, it was safety, Jake Scott.
That's correct. Jake Scott with 2 interceptions, including a 63-yard pick six.
Yep.
And rest in peace to a real one, too. Great name, by the way, Jake. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Jake Scott, really good safety who played for the Dolphins there. You are correct, Keith. Everyone's nodded up. And
can I ask Keith a follow-up question to that one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What jersey number did Jake Scott wear?
Ooh. It was a single digit. It wasn't?
This is a good question.
It's a great question.
15?
Nope.
I don't remember.
He made it famous for the next player that was a quarterback for the Miami Dolphins.
13. Damn. All right.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Very good, Brett. Very
nice.
good. Sean's saying to ask his question here. Let's see.
Oh, you don't want to ask it.
Oh, did OJ do it? That should be a trivia question. Hey, I have a theory that it was actually his son. So I don't know. I mean, glove didn't fit, man. Glove didn't fit.
Then you must
know?
have quit.
Yeah. So, I mean, there was involvement there for sure, without a doubt. But, they brought him up on charges later on for stealing and all that stuff. So he served his time regardless. But, yeah, it probably wasn't for what it was supposed to be for.
Yeah.
So
I normally plead the fifth when I'm asked that question.
Yeah, right. We're going to get a strike on YouTube saying spreading false information or something like that. Unbelievable. All right, you ready for this one, Jackson? Here we go. This man was selected by the Jets in the first round of the 2008 NFL Draft and was the last first-round tight end selected by the Jets.
Dustin Keller?
Dustin Keller is correct.
Nice.
That man had a brutal career-ending knee injury. I think he tore literally every single ligament in his knee. Actually ended up going to Keith's Dolphins for a hot second, but couldn't quite make the team. He wasn't the same player, but he had some really good years with the Jets, man. Out of Purdue, too, man. He was, yeah. Tough career cut short, definitely, for sure. But Dustin Keller is correct. You have just advanced to the 29-yard line, Jackson. You're absolutely crushing it, young man.
Putting pressure on us.
This was the Patriots one. A first-round pick out of USC, who is the fullback and brother of a man named Randall that played his entire career with the New England Patriots. Who is this young man? Played from 1973 to 1982.
Sam Cunningham.
Sam Cunningham. Yep, that's correct. Brett, who is the starting quarterback of the playoff drought-breaking 2017 Buffalo Bills?
This is a trick question, Jake. It really is, because if you want the correct answer, which I got to ask you though, are you talking about the starting quarterback for the first game, or are you talking about the starting quarterback for the playoff game?
I would say in the playoffs, yeah.
Okay.
And who really led him there? Because I know what you're alluding to.
Yeah, Tyrod Taylor.
That is correct. Tyrod Taylor is the right answer.
But
Tyrod low-key was a good quarterback for the Bills, and a lot of people don't give him a lot of credit. I know he couldn't get it done. It was a tough loss to the Jags, 10-3. Brett, go on with what you were saying.
So the reason why I was asking you the question was because you could say that Matt Castle, who lined up at quarterback for the first play of the season, that's why I was thinking that maybe it was a trick question. So I thought it was going to be Matt Castle. I would have said Matt Castle all the way along, but that would have been wrong technically.
Right.
But it is Tyrod Taylor's, but he did have that one play.
That's a great trivia question, too. A lot of people don't remember that because technically it's whoever takes the first snap who gets the first start, and that was during the first game. So ran a little trick formation there, and he was technically behind center. So, yes, Matt Castle did record a start that year, although he didn't throw a single pass. Pretty crazy. All right. Brett, you are now on the 29-yard line. Keith, here we go with a chance to tie it. Which team came closest to beating the Dolphins during their perfect 1972 season?
Oh, Jake. Sorry, buddy. It was the Bills.
The Buffalo Bills. Do you know what the score was by chance?
24-23, I believe, right?
That's right. It was a one-point game. The Bills were this close, man, and they just couldn't do it. So I had to throw that on there. You know what? It's the AFC East Summit, right? You got to have other AFC East teams involved. So try to keep with that theme a little bit too. Very good, guys. You are all knotted up right now, all at the 29-yard line. So we are back on to Jackson. Who was the Jets quarterback involved in the infamous butt fumble play?
Oh, that's a tough play to remember. Mark Sanchez.
That's right. Another softball question. I feel like Jackson's really getting hit with some easy ones. That was correct. Mark Sanchez is the right answer. Very good. You are now on the 19-yard line. Really advancing. You are well into field goal range here. You are going for the goal here. Brett, are you ready? Well, actually, again, let's do this one first. This former Pro Bowler and versatile Patriots player played receiver, returned kicks, and played cornerback in the 2004 and 2005 seasons.
Troy Brown.
Yep. He had 3 interceptions in 2004.
Yeah.
That's impressive, man.
You know, I was shocked to see him out there playing cornerback for them, and I was even more shocked that he was actually somewhat competent at doing so.
And that late in his career. I mean, he was in his 30s at that time, you know?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Bill Belichick has a way with being able to bring the best out of his players, even if it's a position change. And that's happened a lot of times throughout the careers of a lot of Patriots players. It's pretty cool to see, honestly.
So,
but anyways,
can I give a follow-up to that one, though?
Yeah.
So, follow-up is who's the only player in NFL history to record a receiving touchdown and a interception return for a touchdown in the same game?
That is Troy Brown, right?
That's Troy Brown.
I believe it is. Yeah, it was against the Steelers, I think, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
That's a heck of a trivia question for
That's a good one.
all of the NFL.
Yeah, really. All right, here we go. Jackson on the 19-yard line. Brett with a chance to knot him up here. What Buffalo Bills running back played his college football at Coe College, also the same alma mater as Marv Levy, and would go on to be a key player for the Bills from 2006 to 2014?
Give me 1 second because I'm going to go grab something very special to me. Because
I love this.
This one is going to be the best. If I could find it. Maybe I don't know where it is. I don't know where it is, but I do have a Fred Jackson autograph.
It is Fred Jackson. That is correct. I have a signed football over there somewhere of him. Man, Freddie was he's the coolest dude. He's a man of the people, true Buffalonian. Everyone loves him, and he's a legend, man. He is a legend. Freaking love him.
He was so good for you guys during your dark years there.
I'll give you a crazy story about him real fast. So, it was the time of the year where, Jake, he'll remember it. We didn't have anything else to look forward to besides Kyle Williams and Fred Jackson. Yep. So I went to training camp one year. I must have been like 13, 14 years old. And I got to see Fred Jackson, and he threw a football to some fans that were in the stands, and everybody's going crazy. Well, training camp got done, and he went into the VIP area to sign autographs. Well, my dummy didn't realize that it was the VIP area. So I just see Fred Jackson, and I just book it. And I run to the front of the line, knocking people over and everything, get all the way up to the front of the line, and I went cold-faced right to him. And I'm like,
you couldn't even speak.
I have your autograph. I just asked him, I'm like, hey, you're my favorite player. Like, I watched you on fantasy football. I have you in fantasy football too. And I just said all these dumb things that you could possibly say. Yeah. And then I gave him my phone number for some reason, and I don't even remember why I did it. And I thought that he was going to call me, but never did.
Oh man! Well, hey,
worst fan moment.
I wouldn't put it past him. There was a family in Buffalo that I knew. They actually put something on their lawn. They put a sign on their front lawn saying something about Fred Jackson, and he actually stopped at their house and he rang the doorbell, and they opened and he's like, he's there, he's standing there, and they're like, oh my gosh, you actually came over! Like, you knocked on their door. He saw they put a sign out there. I don't know if it was like when he was injured or something like that, but actually knocked on their door and said hello to him, and that speaks volumes, and that's exactly who Fred Jackson is, man. He's just an incredible human being. He really is. He still comes back to Buffalo. I want to say he still has a house here too, actually. So
he does.
Just an incredible person for real. So yes, you are correct. Fred Jackson is the answer. Keith with a chance to tie it up. Which player signed a massive $114 million contract with the Dolphins in 2015?
Being Ndamukong Suh.
Ndamukong Suh is correct. Yes. Yeah. Came from the Lions. Thought he was going to be really probably the next Tim Bowens and then some, right? Yeah. But just really never happened, unfortunately.
Well, he had good years with the Dolphins.
Yeah. Some definite good years, but yeah.
But he wasn't, you're right, Jake. He wasn't what I was hoping he was going to be when he signed with the Dolphins.
Right. Not defensive player of the year status like he was in Detroit,
Yeah.
Is Sue still playing, or is he retired?
He retired.
He was with the Eagles actually last year, though. He was wearing 72. It looked disgusting on him. But
that's a weird number for him.
And it's crazy. He's gotten to play in some Super Bowls because he was with the Buccaneers and now the Eagles, of course, last year, so
I'd say it's not out of the realm of possibility to see him be like a mid-season signing for a team that needs a little bit of depth on the defensive line.
He's going to have the Shady McCoy type of effect, just sign with whoever's a competitor and probably going to go to the Super Bowl. Yep. San Fran could be interesting, yeah.
Dolphins is using their defensive tackle, if we're being honest about it. So maybe
that would be nice, actually.
Yeah,
that would be a cool fit for sure. All right, boys, we are knotted up. You guys are all at the 19-yard line here. Here we go, Jackson. This 3-time Pro Bowl left tackle started 160 games in 10 seasons with the Jets and never missed a game or a start over the course of his NFL career.
I remember him and Nick Mangold. They were the two offensive guys that held it down for years. DeBrickashaw Ferguson.
Yes. I'm going to name my next child DeBrickashaw.
It's a hell of a name.
It's a great name.
My wife is not on board with that name. I'm like, come on, it's awesome. Or just like Brick. Like, how cool would that be for a name, Brick? Girl or boy, Brick. Like,
Brick.
that's freaking sweet, right? No one's
Destined to be an
Brick.
offensive lineman.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. That's O-line for sure. All day. Absolutely. All right. You are now on the 9-yard line with the chance to take it into the end zone on the next question if you get it correct. So we are going to move on to Brett here. Or actually, let's do this one first. Again, as always, we're missing Chris today. And, you know, the Patriots, again, they were actually suspended for this game because of some Deflategate issues. So before being named Gillette Stadium in 2002, what was the name of the Patriots Stadium? Called between 1971 and 2001, Foxborough. Foxborough Stadium is the correct answer for that one.
I thought it was Schaefer.
No. I don't think so. No, it's Foxborough.
I think it's Schaefer.
No, it's Foxborough. Schaefer,
Right.
actually, I think Schaefer was before that, though.
You want to double check?
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely Foxborough.
I
Right?
think you should double check.
Let me look that up. Little fact checking, no big deal. Oh, we don't. Whoa! We don't want that one. Hold on. Gets hot. Foxborough. It's got to be Foxborough, right? No way. Foxborough Stadium, originally Schaefer Stadium. Let's see. Yeah, it says Foxborough Stadium from 71 to 2002.
You're right, Jake.
Yeah. But no, Schaefer, you're right, because that they were technically named that prior to that, I believe. Then Foxborough acquired the rights. So you're close. You're close, Brett. You almost got me there. You almost got me. But are you ready for this one? This is a good one. Who was the Bills defensive lineman that retired after his rookie year to go fight in Vietnam in 1969? He was tragically killed, and the Bills eventually decided to add him to their Wall of Fame in 2000.
Oh, man.
He's on the wall. If you go in the stadium, you will see his name on the wall.
Oh, man. I'm drawing a blank on his name now.
He's actually one of two. Him and Pat Tillman are two former NFL guys that went and fought, and unfortunately, were killed in action.
Oh, man, I'm going to draw a blank on his name. I'm drawing a blank on it.
You want to use a lifeline or something?
Yeah, I'll use a lifeline.
Okay. His first name has 3 letters, and if you watch Scrubs, his last name is similar to the chief of medicine on there.
It's Cox.
That was kind of a weird one, but no, it's not that one.
Not Cox.
No. Oh, my God. Kelso. No, I'm not going to get it. I already got it.
Bob Kelsu is the correct answer.
Yeah.
Bob Kelsu.
Bob Kelso.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, it's a pretty crazy story.
That's a good question, though.
This guy plays his rookie year. He was an All-American, like very highly touted player. And, he's going to be the next big thing. And then he gets drafted, basically goes and fights. And actually, I don't even think he was drafted. I think he actually decided, hey, I'm going to go go fight in Vietnam. And, ends up getting shot. And I think 1970 he passed away. And the Bills decided 30 years later, they're like, hey, we're going to get this guy in the Wall of Fame because he deserves it. And what he could have been, it's a hell of an honor, of course, to fight for your country. And man, he really did it. So Bob Kelsu, that is the answer. Brett is staying at the 19-yard line on that one. I know that was kind of a tough one. Here we go with Keith. And I forgot to put a T in front of that. But this former Dolphin and current receivers coach for the Ohio State Buckeyes had back-to-back 1,000-yard receiving seasons in 2012 and 2013. Underrated player.
Hmm.
This is one question that I came up with as well.
Okay.
I can tell it's a you question, Jake.
It's all about the wording.
Not sure why I'm drawing a blank here.
Did Sean really put Guy Fieri for an answer?
Let me use a lifeline here, Jake.
Okay. He had with the gear that he wore, they were like the mid sleeves that he had. He had gloves. He had a great stash going on, little buzz cut. Wore number 82.
Really,
So
Brian Hartline?
Brian Hartline. That is correct.
Wow,
Brian
I didn't know he had 1,000-yard seasons for the Dolphins.
He was good, man. Yeah, you look up his numbers.
Okay,
2 back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Very surprising, I know. It's actually wild. I mean, he was a very solid receiver.
Yeah,
another guy went from the Dolphins to the Browns. Actually,
yeah.
Paul Warfield.
I never would have thought he had 1,000-yard receiving season for the Dolphins. I knew he was
crazy,
decent, but I didn't know he was that good.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, man. Yep.
Okay.
Brian Hartline. Yeah. All right, Brett or Jackson and Keith both on the 9-yard line. Brett still on the 19-yard line. Jackson with the chance to take it in the end zone. And we got this one. Who was the other first-round offensive lineman selected with DeBrickashaw Ferguson by the Jets in the 2006 NFL Draft?
I think I just talked about him in the last question. I think it's Nick Mangold.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Jackson gets into the end zone, buries through. Sean Green, following his lead blockers, gets into the end zone for a touchdown. Jackson, I don't know if we're going to crown you victor just yet. I want to see if Keith gets in because I think we should have a tiebreaker.
Yeah,
just
let's
because,
do it.
you know.
Yeah.
But Brett, you still have a shot here too. You know, I mean, at least let's get a question in. By the way, this is in what season did the Patriots make their first Super Bowl appearance?
85.
85 against the Bears.
Yep.
They got smoked in that game too.
Snowplow game. I'll always be salty about that game, by the way.
Yeah.
Dolphins should have been the Super Bowl representative for.
I know it. I know, man. Unbelievable, right? And I think they would have given them a much better matchup too.
They were the only team to beat the Bears that season.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, 15-1.
Yep.
Brett, at the time when he started the Bills, owner Ralph Wilson was also a minority owner of what other professional team?
The Detroit Lions.
That is correct. That's why there's such close ties to Detroit. That's why the game was actually moved to Detroit, because they will open their arms for us anytime because of Ralph Wilson's connection. And pretty cool, man. The Lions are kind of like the Bills of the NFC. You know, I mean, it's a team that's up and coming, a team that always plays hard, always fights hard, just can never get it done. So, the Detroit Lions, that is correct. Here we go, Keith. This Dolphins player was acquired in 2002 for 4 total draft picks, including 2 first-rounders.
Ricky Williams?
Ricky Williams, that's correct.
Yeah. Ricky Williams.
Went on to have, I think he had 1,853 yards that year, too.
Yeah.
His only Pro Bowl selection, actually, which is wild.
Yeah.
Only time he was actually selected. I couldn't believe that one.
He had another decent season the following season. I think he had 12 or 1,300 yards the following season.
Oh, yeah.
And then he said, I'd rather smoke weed. So,
yeah, we had that earlier. Sean bringing that one up. Freaking hilarious, man.
And he came back and had some decent seasons for us. He was kind of like a running mate with Ronnie Brown.
Yep.
I don't have any hatred towards Ricky Williams. I actually had an orange Ricky Williams jersey when I was growing up too. So,
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Ricky Williams was unbelievable. He was so good. He was huge. Coming into the draft, he was 244 pounds, running like a 4.5. I mean, he was fast. He was athletic.
Yeah.
He was just the greatest thing. And I remember the mayor of the city calling for the Eagles to take Ricky Williams, and instead they took Donovan McNabb, and people were losing their mind. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely crazy, man. And then the Saints end up, trading up to get him, traded all of their draft picks, all of their capital to go and take Ricky Williams. And he had a decent career there. He had a couple low 1,000-yard seasons, but it wasn't much. When he went to the Dolphins, that's where the real Ricky Williams really exploded.
Well, I understood Dicker's rationale, to be honest. I didn't understand why he would trade away his entire draft, but he looked at Ricky Williams as though he was going to be his version of Walter Payton.
Yep.
That's how he looked at Ricky Williams. So and he thought that was something that was super important for the Saints at the time. I don't know that I would have traded my entire draft for Ricky Williams, but that seems a little foolhardy. But he did something he believed in, so you got to respect that at least.
Absolutely. Hey, when you're all in on something, go all in, man. Don't half-ass it. And he did not half-ass anything. Ditko is not known for that whatsoever. As a player, as a coach, as a commentator, that guy lives life to the fullest. There's no doubt about it. He's got a big stogie while he's doing it. Freaking incredible, man.
Love it.
Yeah. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I think we have to go until one of you guys get a question wrong, basically, here. And whoever gets it wrong, unfortunately, will lose this matchup. Brett, you're still going to play because we're still doing some trivia here, and it's fun for me. Quite honestly, I freaking love this stuff. So let's just keep it rolling. So, Jack, here we go, brother. I'm going to ask you this one here. This defensive end / defensive tackle was selected by the Jets in the first round of the 2015 NFL Draft, but now currently plays for the New York Giants.
Leonard Williams.
Leonard Williams is correct.
Yep.
Did you know Leonard Williams does not have his license? Still.
Does he still not?
29 years old, does not drive a car. He rides a bike to practice every day.
Wow.
Or he Ubers. It's one of the two. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty wild, man. Yeah. I mean, hey, to each his own, Here we go. This is a good one. What rule allowed the Patriots to continue their unbelievable playoff win against the Raiders in 200001?
It was a fumble. It was a fumble.
It was a fumble. It was a fumble.
It was a fumble. We can all agree with that. Chris isn't here to dispute it. So, yeah, it was a fumble.
Right. Unbelievable.
There's one letter wrong in that that word,
What's that?
No. In the rule.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right, Brett. You are absolutely right. Substitute the T with an F. I 100% agree.
You got me.
For sure. I got you. You know what this one is, Brett? You got to know the answer to this.
Oh, yeah.
Does he?
I do.
It's kind of a trick question, too, if you think about it. He technically didn't play for the Bills.
For a couple of years.
Right.
So it's 83.
83 is correct, yes. Didn't actually play until the 86 season for the Bills. Went and played in the USFL, which was a growing league back at the time. Back in the day, a lot of players were electing to go play there because they weren't getting enough money in the league. So, unfortunately, the USFL faltered, and they just could not stay alive, went bankrupt, and all those players came right back to the league that they were drafted in. So, Jim Kelly, 1983 draft, didn't play with the Bills till 1986. Had a Hall of Fame career, of course. All right, here we go, Keith. Little play off that last question. What CFL team did Ricky Williams play for in 2006 before returning to the Dolphins again in 2007?
Ooh. What's the Argonauts? Toronto Argonauts?
Toronto Argonauts is correct, yes. Yep. And he actually, I believe he broke his arm while playing for them.
Yeah.
He got injured, and I think it put him off for the rest of the year, I want to say. But, yeah, Toronto Argonauts, that's the right answer.
But he showed that he had a little juice left. So.
Oh, yeah. Which he did, because he came back to the Dolphins and kind of tore it up. Patrick saying, hi, guys. Thank you for joining us, Patrick. Appreciate you, man. Based on the rule, it was not a fumble.
I don't care about rules. That was a fumble.
Patrick, are you a Pats fan? He must be. Or he's just a big rule follower.
Yeah. He's a stickler.
Here we go, Jackson. How many first-round picks did the Jets have in 2000? They set an NFL record, and it marked the only time a team had this many first-round picks.
I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess 3.
You are actually incorrect, sir. It was 4.
4.
And the picks in that draft, they were almost back to back. Well, actually, the one was Sean Ellis, John Abraham, Chad Pennington, and Anthony Becht. 4 first-round picks. I mean, just absolutely insane. But I know the previous years, I think 98 and 99, they didn't have a first-round pick at all. So they made up for quite a bit in that 2000 draft. 4 first-round picks. That is an
all those
NFL
guys
record.
turned into decent players, too.
Yeah. I mean, Anthony Becht was more of a blocking tight end. Didn't really put up the numbers that you would think a first-rounder would. But the Jets have always had a really hard time, I feel like, of using the tight end position. But now he's doing great things. He's the head coach of the St. Louis Battlehawks in the XFL. So still had a long career, too. He played with the Jets, the Bucks, I think the Chiefs for a hot second. So yeah, Anthony Becht. Yep.
Has any team had 4 first-rounders since?
No, it's the only team to ever have 4 first-rounders.
That's an absurd amount.
I know, it's crazy, dude. Absolutely crazy. Yeah.
I thought it was crazy when we had 3 last year.
Right?
Yeah. Dolphins had 3 the year they drafted Tua.
Yep.
I mean, 2 of which are looking like massive busts right now, but I digress.
That's tough, brother.
The Cardinals might have back-to-back picks.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
They
got themselves a nice haul for trading that pick to the Panthers, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it?
Yeah. Imagine if they get 1 and 2, though. I mean, you can get Caleb Williams, and then you can get Marvin Harrison Jr.
Oh man,
that'd be sick.
Yeah, that's insane. That's awesome.
I mean, really. Then you prepare him with Marquise Brown. Like, that's a really good receiving core, in my opinion. Wow. Yeah, that'd be sweet. All right, so Jackson, you did get that one wrong. So Keith with a chance to win this game. But first, let's do this one. Name the only team to beat the Patriots twice in the Super Bowl. This is an easy one.
That's a great question.
The New York Football Giants.
Yeah.
Here we go, Brett. Which Indianapolis Colt became a Buffalo Bill in a blockbuster 3-team 1987 trade?
Cornelius Bennett.
Bennett. You know who else was involved in that trade? Was Eric Dickerson. Pretty wild, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amusing.
Greg Bell, Eric Dickerson, and Cornelius Bennett. 3-team trade.
SMU's
Greg Bell actually went on to have a really nice couple of seasons with the Rams. But yeah, then Eric Dickerson, of course, to the Colts, and Cornelius to the Bills. Pretty wild.
God love him from SMU.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
All right, Keith, here we go, brother. What an easy way to finish this one. This former Dolphin great was finally – I mean, Keith hasn't gotten many softball questions, so –
yeah, I've kind of earned this one, if I'm being honest about it.
He's earned it.
And it's what a way to win it on my favorite all-time Dolphin. We talked about this in our show, our favorite all-time players for our teams. And Zach Thomas is my all-time favorite Dolphin. I love the way he played the game. I loved how hard-nosed. He was a great leader. He was always around the ball. Zach Thomas, congratulations. Long overdue. And
hell yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Love it.
Keith, I want you to just take a bow because you are the victor of this trivia, this AFC East inaugural trivia. I think we got to do this every month. I think it'd be really cool, or every quarter, something like that, right? I mean, it would just be really cool to do. You guys did amazing, honestly. I think you all, brought that knowledge and you came in strong. There were a couple of these questions where I was like, I don't know if they're going to get them. And I think you guys really handled them well. Jackson, you were the front runner. You did great. I know Mike's
Saudi came up shortly. Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay, brother. You did a great job.
I lost your money, Mike. Sorry, Mike.
Mike, I just want to say I did have some money on Keith, so we'll talk. I know maybe we can drop the amount of wings I owe you by 2 or 3 because I owe Mike 30 wings right now. So yeah, it's pretty tough. But gentlemen, this was fun. This
Absolutely
is super fun. I got more where that came from. I think I'm going to save them for next time that we do this because I think that'd be cool and just bring them up at random moments here. I think that'd be pretty awesome. But any closing thoughts from you, Brett?
Well, I'm going to start off saying to all of Bills Mafia, I'm sorry for letting you down. Yeah. I know we have the biggest fan base out there. I'm really sorry. I got to do a better job knowing my knowledge and everything.
Hey, apologize to Josh, too.
I got to apologize to Josh, too. I let you down, man. You're the face of the franchise, man. I understand, but sometimes you got to give over the crown for the AFC East to some other guys. And, I respect Keith a lot. I like him a lot, too. He's a good guy. So it's always good to give him the crown, hopefully, with the way the AFC East is going this year, if it had to be one other team, I'm glad it's not the Patriots, which they didn't even show up this year. So that tells you how it's going to look this year. Maybe next year for them. So, hey, maybe we're turning over the crown for good with the AFC East to the Miami Dolphins. You never know, but
all right, don't go that far. Let's be realistic here. It's only preseason. It's only trivia.
It's only preseason. Hey, we're gonna get better. Yeah, we're still getting over the DeMar situation. Come on.
There you go.
That's right. We are. But how about DeMar, by the way, guys? coming out and playing like he used to play too. I mean, he was getting in on some tackles, and that's the type of game that he plays. That's what DeMar has to be, man. He has to be a downhill tackler, like getting physical. I love it, man. He might not be as athletic as like Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde, but what he brings to the table as far as a hitter goes, you got to respect it. So really cool to see him back out there and playing. Pretty awesome stuff.
Jake, what did you think of that chest vest that he was wearing? Do you think that that's something that doctors cleared him to play with? Because I was I was debating like whether that was something that he was playing with because doctors ordered him to, or something that maybe it like helps with the impact of blows on the field.
It's probably something that monitors his heart rate too. I mean, there's got to be something with that. I don't know the exact science behind it, but you know, if it makes him feel better too, I'm all for it. I mean, shoot, you want to be able to monitor that at all times because you don't want something like that to happen. I know it's a freak thing, and from the sounds of it, the chances of that happening are so slim. You know, it doesn't. It really, I mean, crazy that even happened on national television. But yeah, I think you know, for him, if it makes it easier and if it allows him to play and doctors feel comfortable with it, I say, do your thing, brother. You know?
Yeah, I agree. I heard this really cool story too, and I don't know if you guys even heard this one. It happened like a couple weeks ago where after the DeMar situation, some of the coaches and stuff were getting their certificates and learning how to properly use an AED and do their CPR certification. And in Vegas, the defensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Rams, Raheem Morris, he ended up saving a 3-year-old kid that was drowned in the pool.
Wow.
And
I didn't hear that.
He ended up pulling the kid out of the water, got the AED, while there was a doctor that came and performed CPR on the kid. And they had to do mouth to mouth. And I mean, the kid was as blue as our shirts, Jake. I mean, that's how bad it was. And they brought him back to life, and the kid's doing great now.
Jeez.
Which, I mean, God put the right people in the right situation at the right time too.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you, you know, how much of an impact that situation played on the world and how many people's lives can be saved just because of what happened to DeMar, even though I don't wish what happened on him on anybody, don't get me wrong. But to see what happened in that situation and how it's spread to more awareness for CPR certification and more awareness about your heart, it's huge. It makes it makes me feel good to see that, you know, we're saving lives because of it.
Well, Brett, absolutely. I've been getting recertified on CPR for a while now. Every 3 years, you get recertified, you get a card in the mail, and it's just something good to bone up on. So if you are listening out there, I would recommend you do something like that because you could end up saving somebody's life. More than likely, it'll be the life of one of your loved ones. Should you be in that situation? So I think that's something that's something everybody should look into doing.
Hell yeah, Keith. I agree, man. Yeah, we do a class at work actually. I think I got to re-up mine too because it's been 3 years now for me. So yeah, it's every 3 years, like you said. So yeah, it's probably time to revisit that one. So well put. You got any other closing thoughts? Closing thoughts. I can't even talk right now. Closing thoughts, Keith.
Well, look, I had a great time with you guys. And you know, I won, but I think we all availed ourselves pretty well tonight. We all proved that we had some knowledge. Chris, hope everything's all right with him, and hope to see him here next time. And look, I think we're coming back tomorrow with some more thoughts on training camp. So
that's right.
If you're here tonight, tune in tomorrow, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks a lot, Jake. Thanks a lot, Brett, Jackson. Great time.
Hell yeah, boys. Where can we find you guys, by the way? You guys got channels yet? What's going on?
I'm working on it, Jake. I'm working on it.
All in good time. All in good time. Keith, you got the nice setup now. I like your backdrop with the maps and all that. You got like markers on that thing of where you've been or what?
We're actually going to start doing that.
Hell yeah. Okay.
But you know, we're planning a vacation for next year, and we're going to start doing all of that. But this was a Christmas gift from my fiance, and we just finally got a chance to put it up.
That's cool.
And
I like
it took
it,
us
man.
like 5 hours, but I had so much fun doing this. This was so much fun.
That is cool, man. Hell yeah. I got one of those, but I actually did it. So it's the United States, and it's got every single Division 1A school on there with their logo of where they're located. So every year I was doing it up until about right when the baby was born. I kind of stopped. But I was trying to go to a different Power 5 school every year. So I put little pins on each school I've been to. So I think I've been to a total of 11 so far, 11 out of like 140 something. But if you're talking just Power 5, or I should say maybe Power 4 now, because all of the Pac-12 is sort of dismantled, doing pretty good. We're going to get there. Eventually I would like to visit every single one of them. I think one a year is definitely doable. So I'm going to get back on that wagon.
Jake?
Which ones haven't I that I
know you went to the University of Buffalo.
Yeah. I was down at Georgia. I got to be on the sideline for that one. I was on the sideline for Ohio State as well. That was sweet.
Okay.
Baylor I've been to on the sideline.
Have you been to Happy Valley?
I've been to Happy Valley. Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely love it. Yep, that's cool. What other schools? West Virginia is another one that I've been to. Pitt. Rutgers is another one. So, yeah, I wanted to start kind of on the East Coast and then work my way out, Maybe I could do like an RV trip or something for the Western schools, That'd be kind of neat.
Good.
Yeah. For sure, man. Yeah. So that's a goal of mine. But yeah, that's my closest thing that I have to a map like that where I'm kind of putting the marker on it, So it's all good stuff. But yeah, Jackson, man, it's been a little bit. I haven't talked to you in quite some time. I know you've been on the show a couple times here and miss seeing your face, man. You did a hell of a job, and we appreciate the hell out of you, man. You did great stuff. And I know King Randy would be very proud of you right now. So you keep it up, man. And how are we feeling about Boise State season coming up? Speaking of,
I actually just graduated there, so sadly I would not be going to their games anymore. But
wow,
yeah, and I put so much time into the NFL and focusing on the NFL that college kind of slips my mind. I don't really pay attention too much to college football.
Can't beat the blue turf though. I mean, that's like
I'm gonna miss the game days and the environment. It was a fun time
for sure. I got to go to Boise.
Yeah,
I got to go to actually. It wasn't for a Boise State game. It was for us. We were at the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Got to play in Boise State Stadium. Got to see the blue turf. I took a little piece of turf home with me. I just picked it out of the grass.
That's awesome.
Doing a little thing. Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
It's a cool stadium.
It is. It's super. Yeah. I mean, the mountains in the background and everything. I mean, it is. It is legit. Yeah. I'm a big fan for sure. But
cool finally allowed beer in there, so it's the games are a little more fun now.
Oh, that is huge.
Nice.
Yeah. I know they just announced that not too long ago that some of these college stadiums now are going to officially allow the sale of alcohol. So
I don't know why they wouldn't. It's such a good revenue.
I don't know, man. That's kind of asking for
college kids,
trouble, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. That's true. That's definitely true. Yeah. Well, boys, I think that's just about does it. Again, really appreciate you guys joining. Jackson, I know you're not really on social media or anything like that. Any plans to maybe start up a channel, or are you just going to kind of stick with us on this?
Yeah, so I was actually talking to my he was like my old roommate. He's like my best friend. We're in like a dynasty league together, and we were huge into fantasy. So we were actually kind of thinking, me, him, and a couple other guys starting up like a dynasty fantasy league channel. So
nice, man.
Cool. Yeah. So when we get that started,
we'll put it in the description for sure. Got to make that happen. Absolutely, man.
Yeah, because I absolutely love doing this and can't get enough about talking football.
Well, you're really good at it. And again, even though you're a Jets fan, you're one of the good ones. So we appreciate it,
like
man.
3 of you out there.
Yeah, right. Awesome. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of Jets fans are a little biased.
Oh,
I try to stay there in the middle, kind of look at the negatives and the pros and just kind of weigh it out.
Mm-hmm. That's what you got to do, man. That's what you got to do. And I think having, visibility on the other teams, especially in your own division, is always a good thing, right? So this is great that we're able to do this every week. And I know tomorrow we're going to be doing a show on here. Brett's going to be hosting that one, and you guys are going to be talking about your first preseason games. So I'll be watching. Actually, I'll be staying tuned for that one. Is Sean doing that one?
I think Sean's doing it. I'm almost positive he is. Okay. So if Sean, if you're still in the comments, just let me know that you're still on to do it. I would love to having you on here, man. It's always good to be with you, and you're killing it right now. I know you're busy at work, but we want to have you on for sure.
Hell yeah. Yeah, Sean brings the real raw talk too. Like he does
Yeah.
not sugarcoat anything. He'll let you know how he feels,
No
But
nonsense.
that's good because it's a no nonsense at all. Yeah, I mean it's two-sided though, right? So he'll tell you the good, but he'll also tell you the really bad. So it's good. It's uncut, and I think you guys will really enjoy it. But for those of you that are still watching, that have tuned in, have commented, we really appreciate you guys. And we got Patrick coming in real hot with the Vinny Testaverde comment. Vinny T with the Jets had the tuck rule work in his favor against the Oats, the Pats, same year. That's pretty good. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Very good point.
Yeah.
Vinny Testaverde, too. Great name, by the way.
Awesome name.
Guy that actually played for the Pats later on in his career. I think that was his last team. He was no, I think it was actually the Panthers. Panthers
Okay.
in 08, I believe it was. Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cowboys were 03. He had to start, or no, 04. He had to start a full season for them, actually.
Mhm.
But yeah, good stuff. I could do this all day, guys. So I got to eventually cut this here.
All right.
But again, for everyone that's been commenting, that has stayed with us and has watched the show, feel free to subscribe and, stay tuned for more content. We appreciate the hell out of you. And be sure to follow Brett, too, on the Go Bills podcast. He's coming out with a lot of content. He's got some really good stuff in the works here. So thank you as always. And
Patrick L., we're on tomorrow night at 8.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all right.
Patrick, thank you so much. Yeah, tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. You don't want to miss it. We'll be talking first preseason games for all of our respective teams. So be sure to tune in. And again, we appreciate you guys. And thanks as always. And go Bills.
Go Fans.
Go Jets.
All right, guys. Take care.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
There it is.